Okay, what's up, guys? I decided to go ahead and wait on the video just so I could see the supplemental draft today and figure out who else got drafted. There was a total of 30 draft picks, 8 which were shown last night, and then the rest was broadcasted throughout the day earlier today on WWE.com. I won't go through all of them, but I'll go ahead and go through some of the most noteworthy ones, I guess you can say. Starting with last night, Rey Mysterio went to Raw, Randy Orton went to SmackDown, Sin Cara was drafted to SmackDown, and probably the next biggest one was Alberto Del Rio also went to Raw. And then, of course, you had Big Show, Mark Henry, and all those guys drafted as well. Also, John Cena was drafted on SmackDown as the first pick of the night, and he ended up getting drafted back to Raw as the last draft pick at the end of Raw last night, which was very dumb. It was basically just a waste of 2 picks. Now, when they first drafted him on SmackDown as the first pick, I actually thought that they were going to have him on SmackDown. And then once Randy Orton was drafted over to SmackDown, that's when I kind of realized that this was probably some kind of swerve was probably going to be made where they had John Cena get drafted back to Raw. And sure enough, John Cena got drafted back to Raw at the end of the night. So not very surprising, but whatever. From the supplemental draft, you had Daniel Bryan going to SmackDown, Jack Swagger going to Raw, Kelly going to Raw, Beth Phoenix going to Raw, William Regal going to SmackDown. I'm actually very excited for William Regal. Hopefully with him going on SmackDown, he can be one of those prominent heels, because SmackDown really doesn't have a lot of heels as a result from the draft. Probably their biggest heels on the show right now is Wade Barrett and Cody Rhodes, and of Mark Henry from his heel turn last night. So I'm actually hoping that they put William Regal in that spot to be one of the top heels on SmackDown. I really enjoy William Regal. He was one of the first guys that I started watching back in 2004. Him and Chris Benoit. So he's always been one of my favorite wrestlers. A very good wrestler. And you know, he deserves a world title shot, in my opinion. He's that good, and I don't think he's ever been world champion. So it would be good to see if they put him in the main event scene. I hope they do. Drew McIntyre was drafted to Raw. Hopefully he can go ahead and get his push into the main event scene. He's been very irrelevant as of these past couple of months, so him getting drafted to Raw was pretty big for him. Natalya going to SmackDown. The Uso brothers were drafted to SmackDown. Kofi Kingston was drafted to Raw. Hopefully this time around he can go ahead and get that push and actually keep getting pushed and become a main event star. I hope that's the case. I don't think it will be the case though. Tyson Kidd, another one of my favorites. You know, he really isn't on TV enough. Probably one of the most talented guys, talented wrestlers in the WWE right now. One of my favorite matches with him was actually on Superstars when he went against Yoshitatsu, which was a very good match. And a lot of people probably don't know about it because they don't watch Superstars, but that was a very good match. Who else? Tyler Rex was drafted to Raw. Hopefully he can go ahead and get that push. He was very irrelevant on SmackDown, wasn't really used a lot. Always got high praises from the announcers though, so that kind of shows me that they're going to do something with him. I already said Beth Phoenix. And probably the last two, Alex Riley and Sheamus, both drafted to SmackDown. With Sheamus getting drafted to SmackDown, I actually kind of think Sheamus is going to be going face. You know, that's what I honestly think. I think they're gonna have Sheamus go face, and I think it'll work well for him. I can see Sheamus as a face. I don't know if that's what they're gonna do, but I can definitely see him becoming a face. Probably not since there aren't a lot of heels on SmackDown. But that's one of the things I see. And then with Alex Riley, now it's his time to shine, and it's his opportunity to show like what he's made of without having the Miz on him, without having him ride on Miz's coattails. So it'll actually be interesting to see what he can do by himself. My basic thoughts on the draft: it was sort of like a restart for the WWE. Hopefully, we can see some new feuds and a lot of character development with these mid-card guys. And you know, I'm expecting to see this take place throughout the summer. I'm expecting a lot of new stars to be built during the summer, and hopefully the WWE doesn't disappoint and they do build up these stars during the summer, which is kind of like not necessarily a rest period for WWE, but a lot of people don't watch wrestling during the summer. That's when they get sort of like their lowest ratings. So really a kind of like downtime season for them, and hopefully they'll be able to build up some new stars during the summer, and then having these guys have prominent roles coming back into the fall and winter when people really tune in and watch wrestling. That being said, you know, the draft was, you know, it is what it is. I was very pleased with it. I hear a lot of people complaining about it, you know, about certain people get drafted to different places. You know, I see it as a positive for the most part. With who got drafted, I can see a lot of new stars being built, and that's ultimately what matters in the end. So, very excited to see where they go with this from here on out. On a side note, I'm very tired of Michael Cole. Like, it's gotten to that point where it's not even like a thing where I hate him. Well, I do hate him, but it's not like I hate his character. I just don't like him in general. Like, every time he comes on, I just want to change the channel. Like, it's not that kind of like I don't like you, so I'm not gonna cheer for you. It's that kind of I don't like you, I'm going to change the channel because I don't want to see you. It's gotten to that point with Michael Cole. I don't know why they're pushing him so hard. I'm assuming he'll become general manager, maybe, as the anonymous Raw general. I don't know. I don't care. I don't like Michael Cole. I really don't like him. And especially I don't like what Creative does. He always interrupts the Divas matches, which always makes the Divas division seem irrelevant. Now, people already think that the Divas division is irrelevant, but now that WWE is acknowledging it by having Michael Cole interrupt them numerous times, even during a pay-per-view, I think, you know, it just shows that WWE doesn't... I just don't like him. I really don't, and I don't think a lot of people do like him. You know, he's not entertaining. He's just annoying. I just wish they would get rid of him, or just have him go back to being an announcer. Because, you know, he has no wrestling ability, so why is he being pushed as a star? It's very annoying, not entertaining. It is what it is, I guess. But Michael Cole, really don't like him. Very random. I just had that in my mind, had that in my head for a while, especially from last night. He really made me mad last night. But also last night, we finally saw the video promo for Karma, or Awesome Kong, and we actually got to see her entire face. Very excited about Karma. I am assuming, since they've shown her face, that she will be debuting on Raw either next week or the week after, or probably on The Rock's birthday, the May 2nd show. So she'll be debuting soon. Very excited to see her. With Beth Phoenix going to Raw, I can already see that those two are going to be sort of like the big stars, the big divas on Raw, and they'll have some pretty good matches and probably bring back some prestige to the very crippled Divas division right now. So very excited about that. But I think that's all I have for you guys. So go ahead and subscribe if you want to. Make sure you leave a comment. Let me know what you guys thought about the draft. Let me know who you want to see built up as a new star as a result of the draft. Let me know, and I'll make sure I come back to you. And I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.